case for a penalty. But any time a defender has the ball at the back and he's got time, the minute he gets his head down, you know that he's going to wind it up and hit a diagonal over the top. The line was way too high, but Arasaki, great take, great finish. It was a really good goal.
Plays for Kuala Lumpur in the J-League. But in terms of development and in terms of looking at, you know, it's not just about this competition, as we've said, you know, Japan looking ahead to the Olympic Games in 2 years' time. So if this coach gets this squad of players for 2 years and looking at the way they've started, I know they're playing a team that's ranked outside the world's top 200, but if he can keep them together for 2 years, get that familiarity, they will be a real prospect at the Olympics.
Well, they will be, and you only have to use the success of the World Cup. Minutes from, well, almost taking Belgium out of the World Cup in that last 16. So there's a basis to say, look, they can go on to major tournaments and do well. I played with a player at Celtics, Shunsuke Nakamura, by far the best player I'd ever played with, technically unreal. So the talent is there. They've been successful in World Cups, but there may come a time where they now need a sort of a foyer of young players coming through and developing and playing in the bigger leagues.
That's a poor challenge by Hayat, which is going to get the game's first yellow card. Yeah, Shinji Ono was another player that stood out for Japan, of course. It's not a team that tends to breed superstars, but they have 11 players on the field that can all do a job and be very efficient about doing that job.
It's shown the manager's faith in the squad. 8 changes for today. That's a bad challenge. Just can't really argue about that from Hayat with the yellow card.
Itakura. Naganuma. Hatate. Looking for Maeda once again, headed away by Yunus. Japan must feel they can score every time they come forward at the moment. Oh, so another great shot on the turn. Iwasaki managed to get across the defender, but just did enough.
It was just enough on the challenge in the end from Hassan. But you're completely right there, Mark. Every time they go forward, they look like they're going to score a goal.
I know you've done quite a few games over the last few days. What's impressed you so far, or have you seen anything that leads you to think that one team is sort of standing out at the moment?
Well, the teams I've seen, I thought Uzbekistan were very decent in their opening game as well. I know Vietnam are going to be very, very strong after losing in the final of the AFC Championships. And Korea are always going to be strong, aren't they, with Son in their side. You feel that player of that calibre, I think, could probably win a game on their own. And you're thinking of maybe him playing against, say, like Pakistan today. You kind of think, how many goals will he actually score in the tournament? So there are periods and there are some good individuals in the side in each country.
There's a ball forward by Mansour, but once again tidied up comfortably by Japan, who've not been troubled at the back so far. Just that one free kick from Pakistan, which sailed high over the top. Just a clumsy challenge on the edge of the area. Lovely ball out to Endo, right the way across. No one able to apply a touch. Two closing in on it. Great ball in.
Oh, it's just waves and waves of attack. Endo getting in a great position here. That's a teasing ball across. Tactically, Japan have got it right. Going 3 at the back. Pakistan not playing with a recognised striker. He's going to try and compact that midfield. So it's so brave that 3 centre-halves get on the ball early. Try and pass it forward and rather than side to side every single time. Movement in the final third's been excellent. And you can say Japan have certainly thoroughly worried their 3-0 lead just coming into the 20-minute mark.
It must be very frustrating as a coach when you train and you put a plan in place and then you find yourself 3-0 down so early on in a game, and basically, even at this stage of the game, you're almost talking about damage limitation rather than trying to go and win the game.
It goes out the window. You can do all your tactics, you can say who you're marking, you can work on pattern of play. But when you get beaten by one ball over the top, after 2 minutes, and then you concede another one, then another one in the first 10 minutes. He now looks at character with the players to try and dig in and maybe now get to half-time without conceding another goal, where it'd be very difficult not to.
Naganuma. So a rash cross, but sailed out of play, come back in again, so it will be a goal kick.